Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 71 of the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast. How the hell are we, fellas? ProEnzo, Vidz, CJ MOXLEY. How are we, boys?
Nick, I'm going really well on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, or more raining, not really beautiful, but I'm going well.
It's good to have you here, and also joining us tonight is CJ MOXLEY. CJ, how are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing really good, Nick. Really well. Heading into December now. It's tomorrow, so getting closer to the season.
Yeah, look, we are going into December, and I think December and January are very tough months for rugby league content. So we're all going to try our best to try and keep everyone entertained, but we'll see how we go. But ladies and gentlemen, this is episode number 71 of the Rugby League Breakdown Podcast. If you're new to this YouTube channel, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. We've got plenty of things to talk about tonight, and I'm joined by rugby league YouTuber ProEnzo, Vidz, and CJ MOXLEY as well. All that CHAMPA may be a little bit late tonight, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. He's had a couple of personal things come up, so we'll see what happens with all that CHAMPA. But it's going to be a great show tonight, boys. We've got a little bit to talk about. It's great to be here once again. It is November 30, 2022. It's currently 8:10 p.m. on this beautiful Wednesday night. I'm not sure what the weather's like in Sydney for you fellas, but it's about 23 degrees up here, and it's actually not that bad tonight.
Oh, it's wet here. It's very bad. We need your weather, I think.
Raining, is it? They do reckon that it is going to rain up here, so I wouldn't be surprised if it does rain up here tomorrow or even tonight, but who the hell knows? Hello to the live chat. We've got a very nice crowd building up here. We've got Faraz, we've got Bosky, TJC Sports, Warriors NRL Fanatics is here. We've got Chelsea Tribe in the live chat. Shout out to Chelsea. Hello, Kino, Minty Rabbito, Jay Evans. Who else is here? The loyal Jason Reader, SS Storm fan. Everyone's rolling in now. It's looking like a good crowd. The Sharkies is here. Daniel Bade all the way over there in the UK. Shout out to the UK followers. Hello, everyone in the live chat. I hope you guys are all doing well on this wonderful Wednesday night. But, fellas, let's just get into the podcast, shall we?
Let's go.
Absolutely. Let's go.
And topic number 5, we're going to get underway with the news that broke today. It's been talked about for a few weeks now, but it's been officially confirmed today. The Newcastle Knights and the Gold Coast Titans have done a trade deal. The Newcastle Knights get Greg Marzu, while the Titans get Chris Randall. ProEnzo, Vidz, in your honest opinion, who wins this trade deal, the Knights or the Titans?
I reckon it's the Knights by far. I just think that the Knights, they benefit so much better for having Greg Marzu at the club, unlike Chris Randall at the Titans. It just doesn't make any sense to me, Chris Randall at the Titans. Like, they've already got Verrills, who's probably their starting hooker. Then you've got Aaron Clark and Aaron Booth. So where Chris Randall fits there, I'm really not sure. But it's a very weird pickup. But we'll see how it goes, I guess. But I think Marzu is just obviously the clear winner in this trade, only because he's proven to be a great winger. Seems to be one of the only few decent Titans backs. So I think that it's a great pickup for the Knights. And I think a backline of, Marvzu, Best, Gagai, Young, it's building to something really well, I think, and Hastings there too. So I think they win the pickup there.
What about yourself, CJ, mate? Who wins this trade?
I think the Knights win this trade. Like ProEnzo said, there's really no need for Chris Randall to go to the Titans. They already got their hooker and hooker depth sorted. I think Greg Marzu going to the Knights will definitely strengthen their backline. I think it's a really good addition. He was one of the few players at the Titans that had a go each week. So, yeah, I think it's a really good signing for the Knights, and the Titans let another good one go.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Seriously, what in the fuck are the Titans doing? Once again, they have proven to be one of the dumbest clubs in the entire NRL, in rugby league in general. Jesus Christ. They are so stupid. I don't understand this. They've got Sam Verrills, They've got Aaron Booth. They've got Aaron Clark. They've got Tanner Boyd who can play dummy half. Now they go out and trade one of the best outside backs that they have for a hooker like Chris Randall, who's probably going to play more games in the Queensland Cup than he is at the Titans. And Chris Randall's injury history is not good. It is not good at all. And the Newcastle Knights, well, you know what? Newcastle are smart because they lost Big Edric Lee. And now looking at their outside backs, they're going, righto, we've got Tuwala here, we've got Heimel Hunt, we've got some pretty good outside backs. We don't have another winger like Edric. Obviously, they've got Dominic Young, who's an explosive winger and probably a top 10 winger in the game at the moment, especially after that World Cup appearance from him for England. So they wanted to get someone to replace Edric at that sort of size, and Marzhew's probably the man to do that because he's got that size and he's good at getting the sets rolling and whatever. But the Knights win this deal easy. The Titans,
100%.
The Titans, they never win any deals. It's rare that they actually get a deal that works in their favour. It really
Knights
is.
have been winning deals all year so far.
Mate, when the Broncos let David Fafita walk and go to the Titans, everyone said, oh, the Titans have got their man. This is the most brilliant pickup ever.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's have a look at how that's going right now. Broncos, they're doing better than the Titans. Titans, oh, that's right, finishing the bottom four. Yep, David Fafita totally working out. Tino leaves the Storm. Everyone's going, what are you doing? Why would you let him go? Oh, because he went to the Titans. It hasn't done any. No. It's horrible. Yeah. It's absolutely horrible. Letting go of one of Isaac Liu. Look at him. His career has gone down the toilet. Backwards. His career at the moment is at an absolute crossroads. Letting go of a big outside back in Greg Marzhew for someone like and trading him to Newcastle for someone like Chris Randall when they've already got about 3 or 4 hookers at the club. It just doesn't make sense to me. And the Titans, they've got outside backs. They've got JJ Fafita, who they seem to be pretty high on. They've got Brian Kelly, Aaron Schoff, Paddy Herbert. Corey Thompson just retired.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that is.
What would you let go of Marzhew? What are they doing?
I have no idea. And especially to trade an outside back for a hooker as well. It's pretty strange to me.
They could have just traded like one of their one of their forwards.
Yeah, they could have done that.
Oh, they're just crazy, bro. I think Newcastle win this deal, and if anything else, I don't know what the decision was, but I think Newcastle win this trade deal easy. Obviously, we won't know anything till next year, but Marzhew is a good chance of starting for Newcastle.
I think he will.
I think he will. I reckon he will.
All right. Well, let's move on to topic number 4, fellas. And was the Rugby League World Cup a success? I've seen a lot of people on social media. They're so negative about the Rugby League World Cup, saying that, it was horrible. The blowout scores were pathetic. The Samoa story was good, but it was very annoying. Australia winning again was boring. So people are just all instantly bashing the World Cup because Australia won again. Well, the old saying goes, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And no one was able to do that. No one could beat Australia. No one could. New Zealand were the best chance, and they just fell short. England and Tonga didn't get to play Australia, so we'll never know. But England didn't even beat Samoa, and Tonga didn't even beat Samoa, so how are they going to beat Australia? But in saying that, ProEnzo Vidz, I know there was a lot of blowout scores, and I know some of the games were on at 12 a.m., 2 a.m., 6 a.m., 5 a.m. Horrible time slot for us over here in Australia. But do you think the World Cup was a success in general?
Well, look, from my point, I do think it was a success, only because it's back, and I think that it's bringing so much joy to the rugby league community. And I think it's also expanded out to many different places as well. Like, I think more fans have been more attracted to the World Cup, which has been, I think something that's helped the fans or more people get involved in watching the game and stuff. So I think that's a positive you can take out of it. I guess the big scorelines, the lopsided scorelines, obviously are a bit of a concern, and that would obviously piss some people off. But look, I think other than that, it's the first time, how many years? 5 or something years they've had the World Cup. So
2017.
Yeah, so that's a while ago now, and I think it's just good to have that sort of footy back. Good to see all the nations play against each other. Some of the best be the best, and I guess some nations are just starting up. So I think it's exciting, but maybe could be improved next time. I think.
What about yourself, CJ? Was it a success?
I think it was when you take away the blowout score lines. You see, for example, you saw a lot of players as well come out of their shell, and a lot of people discovering new players. Each of the country's fan bases turned out, and it showed the passion of each country and their nation. Yeah, I really do think it was a success, man. Obviously, Australia won, but it's just good to have the Rugby League World Cup back, and I think for the circumstances it was a success.
I think there's two ways you can look at this, right? So I think everybody expected, everyone expected the teams like Jamaica to go horrible, Wales, who else was there? Fucking Greece. Everyone knew all these nations were going to get flogged by 50, 60 majority of the time. And I know it's frustrating when you're watching New Zealand or Australia or England or someone beating a team by 60, 70 points. You've seen everyone getting flogged. But before the World Cup started, I think we all said there's probably 4 or 5 teams that can win the World Cup: Australia, New Zealand, England, Samoa, and Tonga. Now, Papua New Guinea were very good. Fiji were very good. France had them pitch moments. Lebanon looked all right as well.
Yeah.
Besides that, there wasn't really a lot of teams that were good. Now, I think the World Cup was a success. I know there was a lot of shitload floggings. But the thing is, rugby league's not big in other nations. Like places like Jamaica, for example, it's not really that big. In Greece, it was only banned from rugby league was banned in Greece about fucking 10 months ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Right.
obviously they're going to struggle, and obviously things are going to not look great. But World Cup comes every 5 years, so you got to expect this sort of thing to happen. I think the Rugby World Cup will be better for the run. I think the next World Cup we'll see a lot of closer games. I think Fiji, Papua New Guinea are going to go very close to beating these bigger nations very soon. As of right now, that they're just not on that level, but they are improving and they are getting there. If you sit there and say it's a failure because of 50, 60-point floggings against teams that we all knew would put a score on one of the shit teams, then you're
It's
a
not
fucking
fair.
idiot. Because
It's not fair.
it's not fair on them. I mean, obviously, Greece are going to get flogged by 50 against Australia. It's going to happen. Obviously, England are going to put 90 on someone. I mean, Jamaica got flogged every game. What do you expect to happen? I mean, people just expect too much. It's like, oh yeah, I'll watch the Australia versus Greece game. Hopefully, it's not by 40. It's like, of course it will be by 40. What do you expect?
Yeah, it happens. If you don't
Too much
expect that, then
Listen.
you're silly.
If Australia's playing England or New Zealand's playing Tonga or Samoa's playing France or Fiji, you're expecting a pretty competitive game. You're going, righto, Australia and New Zealand, they probably win, but they probably win by 8 to 12 points. And if it ends up being by 20 or 26 points, everyone's like, oh, that was horrible. What do you expect? Australia is the team to beat. They are the best rugby league team in the fucking world, and it's proven. They're the number one nation in terms of rugby league. The NRL is the number one competition in the world. The Super League's a close second. But what do you expect? Obviously, this was always going to happen. People are just negative.
Yeah, if I look at the pessimistic side of things, it was really good to see all these nations just play rugby league and their fans turn out and just.
And I love the Tonga versus Papua New Guinea game. If you remember the Keon Kalamatangi try, that was amazing.
Great moment.
Great game. We had Tonga versus Samoa. That was a classic. New Zealand and Australia, classic. Samoa versus England, classic.
So good.
Was it Tonga and Cook Islands? That was another good game where
New
Cook
Zealand,
Islands really
Fiji.
stole it.
I thought
Those were good games. Yeah.
Which game? Fiji and
New Zealand.
yeah, that was another game where I was like, holy shit, Fiji might win. So yes, there were a few negatives, but there were a lot of real positives about this. There was nearly a huge upset. New Zealand nearly got beat by Fiji again in the quarterfinal. It nearly happened.
Yeah, I mean, if that
Australia,
happened, then
Australia beat New Zealand by 2 points.
Oh, so close, eh?
I know.
Peter
Yeah, I
Hickey was
know.
on side by an inch, or if he had stayed in field, New Zealand might have won.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing that people would have like seen it a bit differently because not
Yeah,
Australia.
you know what? If New Zealand had beat Australia, everyone would have went, "Oh, this is the greatest World Cup ever," because Australia's not involved. So because Australia win again, everyone's so upset. Oh, it's not a great World Cup. Yes, it is. It's a great World Cup.
Great to have it back.
The story of Samoa was good. Yes, I know Luai was a wank face, and I know the Samoa fans in Sydney were carrying on like they won. I don't understand the reason to carry on even though they lost. I still don't get that. But come on, this was a great World Cup. It really
Oh,
was.
I enjoyed it.
Same here.
It was
good to have
fantastic. All right, let's move on to topic number 3, fellas. And some news that we've been hearing over the last couple of weeks. The West Tigers looking to sign England's second rower and current Wigan Warriors player and former Canberra Raiders player, John Bateman. Now, it was reported by Michelle Bishop, I think, today on one of the radio stations there in Sydney. And the West Tigers have actually paid a fee to Wigan and John Bateman to get him over here to the West Tigers. Now, from what I understand, that is pretty much set to happen at any point. So John Bateman looks like he's going to end up at the West Tigers in season 2023, which I think is a great thing for the Tigers. The reason why it hasn't gotten any quicker is because the whole Tigers looking for Mitchell Moses, looking to try and sign him on a big deal. That's probably what's holding it up. But if the Tigers are to sign John Bateman, this would make them a much better team. The pack's getting a bit better. The team in general is improving. You have to say they're not going backwards. They are definitely on the up. The likes of Papali'i and Coruscant already going there. If they can pick up Johnny Bateman, the forward pack definitely goes a bit higher up the ranks. ProEnzo Vidz, if this does happen, what do you think about the Tigers signing English back rower John Bateman?
I think not only it's a great signing, but it's a very influential signing because I think when we saw him at the Raiders the very first time, I think you could tell how much of a difference he made to that Raiders team in 2019 because the year before they were really struggling. Then, like when he came to the Raiders, he somehow made a big difference to that club. So I'm not saying that's the same for the Tigers, but I do think he's like a lot of leadership, a lot of experience into that forward pack. So it's a big signing overall, and I think that when you think of a forward pack with back rowers, especially Isaiah Papali'i, and having him as the other back rower, and then you got David Clemmer, Coruscant, Offahengawi, and Stefano from Pole. It's a decent building sort of forward pack putting together. I think they're definitely building the right direction. They do get Bateman, and if with Moses they get him, then I think they have to be. They've got to be near the top 8 if that's the case. Like honestly, I can't stand him, but they have to be near the 8 if they get him.
I'll tell you what. Even if they get John Bateman, I still don't reckon they're going to be anywhere near the top 8, especially with Brooks and Dewey. It's just the halves are horrible. It really is. Dewey and Brooks is just
Brooks the issue.
Laughable.
Luke Brooks will never take the West Tigers to the promised land.
No, never will.
That's why they're going to get Moses.
If anybody here thinks that Luke Brooks will get the West Tigers to the top 8, it is simply fake news. It is fake news. It will never happen. CJ Moxley, if they get John Bateman, do you think it's a good buy for the Tigers, or do you think it's career suicide?
I think it's good for the Tigers. Their forward pack's going to get better. I think the experience in the pack's going to get better, and I think it definitely improves their team. John Bateman, we all saw what he did in the NRL, and look, bro, for a team like the Tigers, I think they need that sort of player, someone with experience and someone in that position. So I don't think that he'll take them near V8, but I think they'll improve. But they just need an organising halfback, and that's when I start to believe. But yeah, I like it a lot. John Bateman back in the NRL.
I want to say this. I really do. John Bateman going to the West Tigers. It makes their forward pack very strong. Clemmer, Stefano, Bateman, Papali'i, and Alex Twell. That's a pretty good starting pack. On the bench, you've got Offer and Gowie. You've got what's that young forward I've got coming through there? Is it Pole? Fanua Pole. I don't know much about him. And they've got another kid in that forward pack somewhere. I can't picture his name at the moment.
Justin Matamua, maybe?
It might have been him. Look, I think the Tigers' bench is horrible, but their starting forward pack is improving. I think they're getting better. Their back line is not bad at all. You've got Mamalo and Nofaluma, pretty good wingers themselves, right? Tommy Talau will be back. Dane Laurie will be at fullback. Who will be the other centre for the Tigers? You've got Talau, and who's the other one they've got?
No, not Staines, fucking.
They bought Charlie Staines, didn't they?
Yeah. Probably start with Toa, I think, or something like that.
Okay, start for Toa. Okay, not bad. Charlie Staines might play wing or fullback. I just want to say this. Just let this sink in for a moment, fellas, and I want the live chat to have a good think about this. Think about this for a moment. The West Tigers, they chose Luke Brooks over Jackson Hastings. Let that sink in for just a moment. The West Tigers chose Luke Brooks as their number one halfback over Jackson Hastings. And I want you to remember this as well, fellas. Jackson Hastings was over in the UK playing for Salford. Then he went to Wigan. The Tigers went extremely hard for him. They got him over here. I said, righto, Hastings, you and Luke Brooks are going to be the halves. Hastings went, yeah, no worries. Hastings comes over here, absolutely kills it. We get to the end of the year. They move him to lock. Tigers get the wooden spoon. And now they have decided to choose Luke Brooks over Jackson Hastings.
Ridiculous.
Luke Brooks is the cancer of the West Tigers. He will never take them to the promised land. And if you think that Luke Brooks can get you to the promised land, you are fake news. The West Tigers are fake news. They are a horrible club. They are a shambles. They are a fucking embarrassment. And how can you fucking decide Luke Brooks over Jackson Hastings? They might be the dumbest cunts on the planet. I said it the other day. I'll say it again. The West Tigers make the Gold Coast look smart. That's how pathetic the Tigers have come. Sure. We'll sign Bateman. We'll sign Papali'i. We'll sign Coruscant. But we'll let go. We'll let go of Hastings, and we're just going to keep Luke Brooks here. Luke Brooks has been a West Tigers cancer since 2013. It's fucking 2023 next year. We're going on 10 years. This cunt's still there. They don't even play finals. They haven't even played finals.
10 years of no finals. Imagine that. That's
fucking 11 years next year because they're not going to make it next year.
It only puts more pressure on Brooks as well. So,
and I'm sorry to say this, but I'm going to be honest with you. Adam Dewey sucks as well.
He's not.
And Dane Laurie's a shit fullback.
I can't believe Dewey's asking for $800K a season. That's ridiculous.
And I'll tell you what's another fucking downgrade. Letting go of Tyrone Peachy and getting Charlie Staines. I know Charlie Staines is a good young kid. Peachy can play any position, but the Tigers don't know how to use him properly. They got no idea.
Yeah, they just keep mucking. They go one step forward and 10,000 back. It makes no sense.
I think the West Tigers are horrible. I think they're a disgrace to the NRL. And I think the signing of Bateman's a good one, but everything else is horrible.
As per usual.
Let's move on. Topic number 2. George Burgess, former Wigan Warriors, South Sydney Rabbitohs, and George Illawarra Dragons prop, announced his retirement on Instagram the other day. CJ, you are a proud Rabbitohs supporter. What are your thoughts on this whole George Burgess situation? I know there was rumours of him going back to South to end his career, but what do you think of him retiring immediately?
Unfortunately, it falls under medical retirement, it turns out. So makes it just as worse. I always remember George Burgess for that 2014 grand final try, where he secured us our 21st premiership after 43 years. I thought he had a great career. One of the Burgess brothers. He was always so good, man. In 2013, 2014, he was unstoppable. And just, it was a good career. It's a shame how it ended, but look, I always remember him for that outstanding 2 seasons that he had at the club.
Yeah. What about yourself, ProEnzo Vidz? What do you think about the career of George Burgess?
Yeah, no, it was a great career. I think that, him and his brothers obviously have made some sort of made their name on the NRL. I think there's no doubt they'll leave a legacy behind, especially, I guess Sam's obviously probably the best one out of all of them, but George is, he's definitely proven to be some sort of a great player for South, mainly throughout his career, and unfortunately didn't work out the Dragons. But look, I think in general he's done a great job in the NRL, George Burgess, and I think that, he definitely deserves the credit and raps because he's already won a premiership and he's already, played many finals games, and I think he'll be remembered for a long time. So I hope he goes well in retirement.
I don't want to be negative, but I reckon Anthony Griffin had a lot to do with this.
Good chance.
Because when the Dragons signed him, I'm pretty sure it was decent coin. It was a pretty good contract. I'm pretty sure it was around 400 to 500 to get him. And look, I don't know, man. I could be wrong, but I think Anthony Griffin had a lot to do with this. It just seems a bit fishy to me. I know George probably could have. He's only 30 years old. He's a prop. He could have went another 3 or 4 years. So, look, he has retired, and I'm going to make a prediction right now. I believe George Burgess will come out of retirement at some point.
Really?
Oh,
I don't think he's done.
Go where?
I'm not convinced. There's no way he's done. I'm not convinced by it, fellas. I know Tom Burgess is probably a top 10 prop in the NRL. Sam Burgess tried to come back from his injury, but obviously that didn't work out. I don't reckon George Burgess is done. Like, I know he's got a few injuries and whatnot, but I don't think he's done, boys. I think he'll be back. I know he's retired for now, and if he does retire for now, then obviously wish him all the best. And he had a fantastic NRL career. I don't think he's done.
Think he'll come back to South?
Interesting.
I don't know if it'll be South. I don't know what it will be, but I don't reckon he's done. I really don't.
He does have more to give.
He's got more in him. There's no way he's done. I mean, I know he had a bit of weight on him and around his stomach there. He was carrying a couple of extra tires on him, but come on. There is no way he's done. I reckon he's
32.
How old is he? 30, isn't he?
30, yeah.
I reckon he'll come back. I really do.
It's probably just lack of motivation since that whole Anthony Griffin situation.
The Dragons situation this 2022 was a bit up and down, and he wasn't even getting picked a whole lot. I think he was coming off the bench a lot of the year. I don't even think he started the game once at the Dragons. So
playing for him.
He played a couple of games for him, but not many of them. So I don't know. Maybe he's retired for good, but I got a feeling that he'll be back.
It would be nice to see him back. So let's hope.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. Topic number 1, fellas. What NRL rules need to be fixed or added to the 2023 NRL season? There definitely are a few rules that need to be looked at in the off season, and there's definitely some rules that they could add for next season. But I want to start with you first, ProEnzo Vidz. First one, what rule needs to be fixed and what rule needs to be added to next year?
I think this is a big one that's going around right now. I think everyone or most people would agree with this one, but I think the obstruction rule needs to be fixed. I think there's just the inconsistencies in terms of like the obstructions are so bad. You know, I've seen so many this year that have been let go or have been caught back that aren't even, possible being an obstruction because you don't think that player will get there in time and stuff like that. It's just ridiculous, I think, and I think that one needs to be really looked at in the off season. I doubt the NRL is going to look into it that much, but I really hope that they could do something to make it at least better or get some sort of better consistency out of obstruction rules. So I think that's one for me. One they may need to bring in. it's a long shot, but I've always liked the idea of forward pass technology. Like, that's just me. I think we need forward pass technology. I just think that obviously a lot of forward passes have just seemed to muck teams, muck games up, I should say. And obviously,
we all know what game you're talking about, and I don't think we need to say any more about it. I'm not even going to mention the game because I'm just going to lose it. But
yeah,
I think well said. CJ, what about yourself?
Yeah, for me, I'd actually like to see I'd go over 2-point field goal scrapped. I'm not really too much of a fan of it. I just think bring it back to the 40 meters, 1 meter field goal. I'm just not really a fan of 2-point field goals, man. I never have been. It's just to me, it's never made sense because before it got introduced, it was like back in the 70s. So I just never grew up with it, and I just think having 1-point field goal makes more sense. And a rule that I'd like to see very added in is, like Lorenzo said, forward pass technology. It just costs too many games. Has to be bring in.
Yeah. Look, I think one rule that needs to be looked at. I think the obstruction rule is obvious. I think we all agree with it. The obstruction rule, and I'll tell you what annoys me about the obstruction rule, fellas. When there's a play where a team is on the attack or they're trying to get out of their own end, you know how the decoy runners stop in the line and they surrender, and they put their hands up, and then the player who has the football automatically goes to the ground and surrenders. That needs to stop, man. It makes the game look so robotic. It makes it look ridiculous. That needs to be sorted out badly because that is a joke. That really is a joke. The 2-point field goal was one that they could look at. I think it's pointless. 2-point field goal. It never happens. Yeah. Just get rid of it.
I don't care for it, eh?
I'll tell you what they could add next year, fellas. I don't know if you fellas like this. You know how you've got the 20-meter line where the team kicks a 40-20?
Yep. Yeah, that's it.
Why don't we put a corner post on the edge of the 20-meter line so we know it's inside the 40?
I mean, that could be a good indication. I mean,
a small little post on the 20-meter line on the sideline that proves that it was a 40-20, because you saw in season 2022, someone kicks a 40-20. It took the referee a fucking minute to go to the bunker to find out if it was actually a 40-20.
Yeah, I think that'd be good. It'd be quicker as well to get the
decision. If you get like a mini little, a tiny little corner post on the 20-meter line, that way everyone knows that the ball was actually inside the 40. It just makes it 10 times easier.
That could be
much easier to call. And the decision.
I remember Gus Gill said it years ago, and I think it's something that needs to be looked at. I think the bunker needs to add forward pass technology, at least trial it out in the preseason.
Sure.
Trial it out in the preseason. That needs to be looked at as well. The obstruction rule's fucked, but that needs to be looked at ASAP. What else is there?
100%.
Actually, I'll tell you what they need to do. You know how the referees make a decision, but then they realize they actually got it wrong. But they changed their mind. They shouldn't be allowed to change their mind like that.
That shit annoys me. Fucking hell.
There was a lot of times this year where there'd be a knock on, and the referee would go, "Oh no, hang on, penalty." Actually, it was ripped out, and then a team would challenge it, and they would lose their challenge.
Mate,
that's a big issue.
Piss me off.
Whatever rules are there, boys, that needs to be added or fixed up next year.
What are your thoughts on the captain's challenge? Would you like that to stay? Or I'm 50-50 on it, to be honest.
I'd keep it, personally.
I think the captain's challenge is hanging by
when your team gets the captain's challenge and succeeds, it's good, but it just feels, I don't know, something about it I just don't like. Just the timing of it, how long it takes.
There needs to be something in place about the captain's challenge. There's, like, can you do it if there's a stoppage of play? Can you just do it in general? Because I'm pretty sure the rule is the play has to be dead for captain's challenge rules to be implanted.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah, I personally
But they
like
changed it all the time. Ever since that Cowboys Tigers controversy, they went crazy with it. I'm just reading the chat. Warriors NRL Fanatics says, can the NRL get rid of Graham Annesley? Yeah, that'd be good. Hopefully he hands in his resignation before Christmas.
That'd work.
He is one of the most embarrassing blokes going around today. Whatever rules are there that needs to be looked at. 6 again. I think you've got to keep it now.
Yeah, we've gone to a point where we're used to it now.
I don't think you can get rid of 6 again now.
Nah, it's been there too long now.
You can't get rid of it. The concussion rule needs to be looked at.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That needs to be sorted out.
That's 2
If
years
someone
late.
gets knocked out, someone gets hit in the head and they're out, get them off straight away.
Yeah, simple as that. Not a little knock to the head.
Get them off. Just trying to think if there's anything else that needs to be looked at. Oh, not really a rule, but if any Tom, Dick, and Harry decide to run on the field as a protester or a fucking invader, don't give them a $10,000 fine and arrest them and ban them for 6 months. You know what that should do?
Yeah.
Ban them from every live stadium in the country and give them 2 weeks in jail.
Yeah, well, look, it needs to be harsher. So that's yeah.
Mate, I was at Belmore. We were all at Belmore, and we all saw what happened between the Bulldogs and Dragons when all those people come on the field.
Yeah, it's like 25. Yeah, I don't know.
There was so many of them, and then there was some idiot getting close towards Jack Bird.
I'm not sure.
I think Jack Bird. I'm pretty sure Jack Bird shoved him or something.
It's not a joke of a situation. You got to play welfare.
Well, you play a safety. I mean, we talk about, yes, the fans are allowed to have their opinion and how they feel about a team getting ripped off by a referee decision, but you're running on the field, man. You're just taking, you're crossing the line too far.
Solves nothing, does it?
So, any other rules that you guys can think of that you want to add or fix up next year?
Not off the top of the dome, but I'm sure there's a lot more.
I'll give you one.
Yeah.
When a player, I don't know if you guys like this or not, but when it's full time and a team loses, and the interviews from Fox and Nine go straight over to the players, they could lose 25, 20, 24. They won't want to talk to you, but they have to.
I know, in my opinion, they're not really entitled to talk after a loss if they don't want to. Obviously, they can give their thoughts, but that's why they have a press conference. Yeah,
exactly. The press conference should be for the end. I mean, obviously, you get the analyst to come in and interview, but interviewing a big name player or just a player in general after the game, I don't know how they put up with it, man.
It pissed them off 100%.
Oh, mate, if I was an NRL player and I lost a game by a field goal or by a try with a few minutes to go, and I had to be interviewed straight after it, I would not be in the mood to talk to them.
They're not entitled to either. That's what the press conference is for, like I said.
That's what the press conference is for, exactly. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's move on, boys. We all know what time it is. It's time.
Let's go.
For the Breakdown Podcast game show.
Here we go.
Yes, it was supposed to be, I don't know, all our CHAMPA, obviously, he had something personal come up, so unfortunately we couldn't get him on tonight. But we're going to get the odds for the game in just a moment. And you guys are going to be quite, I don't think you'll be that surprised by the odds. I think the odds are quite fair. And here it is. The odds for the game show. ProEnzo Vidz at $3. CJ MOXLEY at $8.50.
Oh, $8.50.
I've won out. So
what do you think about that, boys?
I'll take it. I'll let the bookies get on.
Look, it's fair enough because I've been
$8.50 is a fair deal, right?
I haven't been going well, so that's fair enough for me.
Now, just want to let you guys know the Breakdown Podcast game show is sponsored by NickBet. # fuck the Gold Coast Titans. Thank you to the sponsor, NickBet. We really appreciate you, my friend. But yeah, fantastic. Anyway, fellas, let's get into the match.
Oh, the nerves of a 850.
Now, I just want to say as well, everyone knows if you reveal any of the answers in the live chat, you'll be instantly banned for 5 minutes, potentially longer. And we'll see. All right, let's go. ProEnzo Vidz versus CJ MOXLEY. First one to get 3 questions right is the winner. Righto. Boys, the questions are at random. Are you ready?
Yes,
Yeah,
let's go.
I'm ready.
Question number 1. What is the first Sunday game in round 1 in 2023?
Oh shit. Broncos and the Roosters.
That is incorrect. CJ.
Sunday, it's Roosters Dolphins, isn't it?
That is correct.
Oh yeah, I meant that. Shit.
Good
That's what I meant.
start, Mr. MOXLEY.
That's what I meant. Fuck.
I was trying to find out if there was a 2 p.m. game, hey?
I know it was Roosters and someone, but
trying to think of-
Broncos.
Roosters and Dolphins is correct. CJ gets the first one right. Okay. Question number 2. Fellas, in round number 9 of the 2023 season, what is the Thursday night fixture? The Cronulla Sharks versus who?
The Tigers.
Incorrect.
Storm.
Incorrect.
Is it
CJ.
Manly? Manly?
Incorrect. Lorenzo.
Broncos.
CJ.
It's Sharks and the Eels, isn't it?
Wrong.
Fucking hell.
I think it's the Dolphins.
Wrong again.
Wait, Thursday night you said?
Yep.
Fuck. Would it be the Dragons?
Wrong.
Fuck.
Lorenzo.
Knights.
Wrong. CJ.
Oh, come on.
I'm going to guess the Cowboys.
Correct.
Oh,
Oh, look out.
fuck
Yeah.
me.
This could be a clean sweep.
Probably.
Lorenzo is in all sorts.
I don't know what's happening, honestly. Not good.
Oh, boy. Wow. What a start.
Yeah, I've gone backwards,
All right.
Oh, no.
All right. Next question. Fellas, in round 16 of the 2023 NRL season, there's a Friday night game in Townsville. It's the Cowboys versus who?
The
Roosters.
Dolphins?
Who went first?
I said
Lorenzo
Roosters.
went first.
Well, you're both wrong. Next.
Fuck. The Dragons.
Wrong. Lorenzo.
Eels.
Wrong. CJ.
The Cowboys Friday night in Townsville. Is it the Titans?
That is wrong. Lorenzo.
Storm.
Wrong again. CJ.
Manly.
Wrong. Lorenzo.
Oh, man. Sharks.
Incorrect. CJ.
Fucking hell.
Uh, I feel like it's a 6 p.m. game.
It's an 8 p.m. game.
8 p.m. game. Right. Is it the Broncos?
That is wrong again.
Fuck.
Lorenzo.
Fuck.
Surely.
I'm trying to think. Dragons.
Wrong. CJ.
Oh.
Oh, it's going to take. Is it the Roosters?
That is wrong.
Oh,
Lorenzo.
Tigers. Tigers. Oh, what the fuck?
CJ.
is it the Raiders?
Nah.
Oh, my
Rabbitohs.
fucking-
Wrong.
What?
What a fucking. It's the Tigers, right?
No, it's not the Tigers.
What is it? Oh my
I
god.
guess
Lorenzo.
Oh fuck! I'm just trying to
Come
think.
on, bro.
Bulldogs.
No.
Oh,
CJ.
Is it fucking Penrith?
It's correct.
What? Again?
Oh,
Penrith.
Again?
CJ wins 3-0.
GG. Good game.
That was too hard.
Oh, what the fuck?
I thought we said every team.
Who
that's up to
predicted
them.
that?
850.
It's the Cowboys and the Panthers, round 16, June 16. Yeah, that's the
So
one.
the derby was on that week.
No, look, I thought we said every team that's up until Penrith.
I was just trying to think of
Unbelievable. Lorenzo, I don't even know if you've ever lost 3-0, but unbelievable.
I think once someone.
Oh, I can't remember, but it was a while ago
Okay,
now. Oh, what a game. What a game.
GG, CJ.
Good game.
That was a
bro.
great
We'll be
game,
back.
man. All right, boys. Well, that's going to wrap up episode number 71 of the Rugby League Breakdown podcast. Lorenzo and CJ, thank you for coming on tonight. It was a great show.
Yeah, no, thank you to you both. It was a great show, and yeah, hopefully it's not the last podcast of the year.
I'm sure we'll
thanks
do
for
one
having
more
me, lads.
before the end of the year, but what a show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, lads. It was a good podcast, and you cannot wait for the next one, huh?
No worries, boys. Anyway, thanks to everyone that tuned into tonight's live stream. Thanks for watching the Rugby League Breakdown podcast, episode number 71. This has been Nick from Australia, ProEnzo, Vidz in the middle, CJ Moxley on the end. Anyway, like and subscribe and enjoy your night, and we'll see you guys in the next one.